Welcome to my podcast, Staying in Touch with Jen. This is not your ordinary podcast where it's the same topic every week. This will be things that I thought would be interesting to you that I run across, such as clubs that I'm in, what I'm doing lately, what I've read, what I've seen. Just wanted to share it with you, different content every week. So if you think of anything that you may want for me to talk about, please share. And if you like what you hear, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you. I have Maria Martinez Riach on the call today, and she is one of the most eloquent speakers that I have ever met. And she has a lot of fun. And she is now retired and super jealous that she gets to do all the fun things now. Maria, hello, welcome.
Hi, Jennifer.
I have a couple of questions to ask you. So the first question is, how long have you been a Toastmasters member?
I joined in April 1994. I think that makes it about 26 years or so.
26 years, yeah. And you are one of the original members of Valley Voices and Vices?
No, I was not a charter member, I think, but I joined just after a few years after they had started. And that's the club that I joined, and that is the club that I still continue to attend. Through the years, I was a member of various other clubs in addition to Valley Voices and Vices. And then as time passed, I scaled back, but I still continue to attend Valley Voices and Vices, my home club and my original club.
Wow. And then I talked to Lori, and she said at one point in time she was involved with 9 clubs. What was the most clubs that you were in?
5. At one time, I was involved in 5. Valley Voices and Vices meets every week. 2 of the clubs that I was a member of only met once a month. And I think that Lori is a member of some clubs that only meets once a month or twice a month. So not every club meets weekly. That would be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And to participate fully in a club, and not, too many clubs really can be a challenge. So 5 was the maximum that I attended.
Gotcha. What do you feel that there's a benefit for being in a weekly club?
I do, because it's virtually impossible for everyone to attend every meeting through the year. With a weekly club, if you have to miss a meeting, then you come back the next week and you've only missed one meeting. If you go to a club that meets twice a month and you miss a meeting, then you only participate once a month. And if a club happens to meet only once a month and you miss, then it's 2 months before you can attend and get the benefits and see the people that you so much enjoy seeing at the club. So I do recommend, when I've been involved in creating new clubs, to, if possible at all, for them to set up the guidelines that they will meet weekly. I think you get so many more benefits by repetition constantly that you lose some of that if you only meet twice a month or once a month, unless, like Lori or myself years ago, if you're in multiple clubs, you're probably in one that meets weekly, and that's not too bad. But if you're only going to be in one club, I certainly recommend go to one that meets every week.
I understand that because I go every week, and there's some things that I still don't grasp, even after being there for a year. And, I'm learning. There's so many moving parts, but that's just part of being a club member. But I would think that for me, that I have excelled as a speaker and a communicator in that year and a half, and now I'm just nailing down all of the different roles and what my responsibilities are when I do as a member, when I take on the roles. So
I think you have done an absolutely fantastic job. Years ago, I was told by a long-term Toastmaster who I admired then and continue to admire throughout the years. But he gave me this advice, and it's a common thing to tell members. Whenever someone asks you to do something in Toastmasters, say yes and figure it out later. Because if you start to think about, well, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know if I can do it, and you hesitate, you may not do it. Well, if you just simply take the challenge, and that's what happened to me. I jumped in, and I know that, oh my God, when I look back, how did I get done some of the stuff that I did? But I remember when Wayne Choate told me that, just say yes and figure it out later. And that's an advice that I took, and it served me well throughout all my years in the Toastmasters organization.
Well, I did say yes to being the public relations manager. And hope I'm doing it right.
Oh, you're doing the best we could have ever hoped for. Definitely.
Thank you. As you talk about your journey through being a Toastmaster for 26 years, you have a level or recognition of distinguished Toastmaster. Can you tell me a little bit, or the audience a little bit, of what it takes to be a distinguished Toastmaster?
First is the highest level of the recognition level that the organization offers. And there are requirements that it takes quite some time to get through all of them. The organization just recently changed the educational system to a new system called Pathways. Some of the requirements have changed, but they still boil down to two significant areas, and they're communication and leadership. For becoming a distinguished Toastmasters, you have to go through various it used to be manuals that we have, and now most of it is online, but many projects, speaking projects, which are going to focus on different skills. And in addition to that, you have to participate on the leadership side, starting with some of the club officer positions. But one of the requirements for a distinguished Toastmaster is to serve 1 year at the district level. Okay. And the district is really the group. First of all, we have the club, and then a number of clubs form an area, a number of areas form a division, and a number of divisions form a district. When I received my distinguished Toastmaster, Las Vegas was part of District 33, which was Southern Nevada and Central California. Mm-hmm. Just last July, Southern Nevada became its own district, District 115. So this is a whole new thing happening now, that we don't have to travel to California to do some of the conferences.
Well, no one's traveling anywhere anyway.
Yes, that's true. Yes, but I was part of District 33, and so you have to serve 1 year at the district level, which means that you have to be at least an area governor to be able to meet that qualification. But there are many other things. It took me 5 years from the time I joined Toastmasters to achieve the designation. But first, when you join the organization, you don't know what all these awards are or recognition awards. But once I figure it out, and once that I'm pretty goal-oriented, so I thought, okay, if I'm going to do this, might as well go for it. And then, so I kept moving on, but it was a huge decision point to go for the district level position, because you did have to travel to California at the time, and it was a significant time and investment, and I did. And I did the area, the division, and then the 3 levels of the district to get to district. It used to be district governor, it's now district director, but there are two positions below that. It's kind of a ladder. You go up the ladder. I did decide finally to do it, and it was a lot of work, but I don't regret any of it. It was extremely rewarding.
Very good. I'm going to, after talking to everyone, I'm definitely going to go through the pathways and see how to move up and where my goal is, because I did not know there was so many other different avenues Lori was talking about earlier, about different pathways for the humorous and presentation and teamwork. And so I'm super excited about all of that.
Oh,
And
yes, Jennifer, you have no idea of what all we have in store for you.
Well, I'm excited because I do love Toastmasters, and I do love the opportunity that I believe that it's going to open for me. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, you're retired, and you still continue to come to Toastmasters. Why is that? Because now you're retired, you can go travel. Well, once, where the ban is lifted, and you don't have to run a group of people anymore. Why do you continue coming to Toastmasters?
Well, more than one reason. There is a selfish reason that even though I retired, I haven't died. I'm still alive.
Thank you. Thank God.
I still have to communicate with people, and I still have to work at learning and hopefully expressing myself the best way I can. And you don't stop, even though I don't have to work. I don't have a job per se. I'm involved in other groups here in the retiring community where I live. So you do relate to people, and it's a skill to do that and to listen. The listening skills we learn in Toastmasters. But beyond that, it never occurred to me, it never crossed my mind to think, well, the day I retire, I'm stopping Toastmasters. It just never did. I enjoy it, and part of me says, the ones that came before me put a lot of time and effort to create the organization that provides all that it provides. So if nothing else, I owe it back to the organization to stay there. And even though I don't put as much time in as I once did, I just can't. I hope that I can at least be a good club member and be an example of, this is you come to the meetings, you commit to it, you do your best, and if you do, you're going to get a lot of it. And I do believe in leading by example. Therefore, I just can't imagine. I never have thought of quitting. That has not occurred to me at this point. Has not occurred to me. And besides, you make friends, and I enjoy the camaraderie of it Fridays. I do attend the contest when I can. And there is a lot of good that comes from it, more than just the going to the meeting. There's a lot of side benefits, and I would hate to stop it just because I'm formally retired from my job.
And the purpose for me asking that question is exactly the reason why what you said. It's more than for your work, it's for your life versus, I'm doing this for my career, but you're actually doing it for your life and to be able to communicate to other people. So, and this is also the reason why at the beginning of this, I said she's the most eloquent speaker ever. Did you guys hear the descriptions that she used when she was describing Toastmasters and the reason why? I love her. So, Maria.
Jennifer, there's another part of this. Toastmasters gives us the forum to speak about whatever we want to speak, as long as we are respectful and don't start insulting people. But we can talk about the things we do. And I know you're busy. I'm busy doing other things. So what better place to talk about some of the other interests that we may have, whether it could be, I think you're interested in photography or traveling around with a Jeep, or maybe you went on vacation and talking about where you have been, and then you find out, I was there too. And it just creates a very positive, I like the fact that Toastmaster people tend to be positive. It's a very positive energy that comes from being a member. So as I said, I retire. Doesn't mean I'm stopping living my life.
Yeah.
And there is a whole new dimension to my life by being retired, and I can share that at the meeting.
You can share it.
I don't need to be locked in my house, although we know how to be semi-locked, but you don't have to stop functioning just because you retired. And that's why I keep coming back. I have never thought, as of right now, I have never thought of quitting attending the Toastmasters meeting.
Well, we are grateful. Our club, Valley Voices and Vices, are very grateful that you have not thought about it, because you are a very important member to our club. And I totally cannot wait till I'm old enough to retire and be you and travel all over the place.
Careful what you ask for. It comes around very quickly.
Yeah. I'm like, 15 years from now, remember? Oh, well, there's one more thing that I do have to ask, and you may have said it through our conversation, but if there is one thing that you think a prospective member could benefit from being a Toastmaster, what would that one thing be?
To a prospective member, I absolutely say, just give it a chance. Give it a chance, because you will be surprised how much you can get out of it. And you cannot see it by attending one meeting. So this is something you have to experience. So I absolutely say, join the organization, see what it's about, and you will not regret it.
Wow. Maria Martinez Riach, I really appreciate you coming online and taking the time to speak to our audience about Toastmasters. And I'm sure that the audience will have lots of questions. So if there's any questions, you can always reach out to us, and I'll make sure it gets to Maria, or come to a Toastmasters club meeting. Once we convene together, we would be at One Nevada Federal Credit Union off of Mojave, but otherwise come join us online, and you can always see our website or our Facebook page, Valley Voices and Vices. Maria, thank you again. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we sign off?
I hope that anyone who is listening to what you have put together here is going to give it a chance and join us. And as I said, they will have a good time and hopefully learn about it and want to join the organization. But thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, and have a great evening.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.